with Mystik Dan coming off a third in the Arkansas Derby. Talk about that performance and his training since.
Well, his race in the Southwest was ultra impressive, and so we, instead of coming back quickly in the Rebel, we decided to wait for the Arkansas Derby. So it was 7 weeks in between races, and I think he actually got turned sideways in that first turn. But he ran good. I mean, that's what we needed. We needed a solid run. We still got a pretty fresh horse, and he wasn't overtaxed in the preps. And I think it sets him up really well for the Kentucky Derby. I think timing-wise, horse is doing super, and right now we've got I think pretty well dead aim at it. He's real agile. This is a horse that's got a lot of turn of foot, turns it over quick. He won going 5.5 here at Churchill, so he's won over this track. But we've had to kind of retool him to go longer. But the Sireland's Harlan's Holiday, which is a horse I ran in the Derby in 2002, and
Was a favorite.
Yeah,
At like 6-1.
And I think this is a faster horse than Harlan's Holiday. I mean, he's got a ton of talent, and now it's just a matter of timing and things kind of coming together.
We've had all the Derby points races. By the two co-favorites, one Fierceness figures to be in front, the other one, the Bluegrass winner, Sierra Leone, figures to be coming from out of it. Mm-hmm. Where do you see Mystik Dan when you look at the entire picture of who's looking at the Derby? How do you feel about?
I think he's a
Mystik
stalker. I think he's a horse that can lay, third, fourth, fifth, sixth if you need him to, and then punch from there. We've been working on trying to teach him to finish, and because we sprinted him a couple of times, it took him a couple of races to figure that out. But he needs to run back to his Southwest race and maybe plus some, and I think that's perfectly possible. He has a real chance. I mean, a very good chance. In my mind, might be the best chance I've ever had.
I'm not saying something because again, you had Harlan's Holiday.
Tejano Run was second in '95. Yeah. He was a big grinder type. This colt's more tactical. That has speed leaving there if you need him to, and he can place himself forward as opposed to grinding it out and coming from way back. He's not a come from way back type.
Now, Common Defense, he needs help to get in, or is he in now?
He's one defection from getting in.
Which we have a pretty good chance then, because we're a week and a day from entries.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I think he's a fringe horse. I do think his future's on the grass, but his second in the Rebel gave him enough points to get in, and we're going to see if we can get him in. He's going to be a horse that's going to need things to go his way. He's going to need to show a completely another level to think that he can win the Derby. But he didn't get beat too far by Sierra Leone in the Louisiana Derby, and he was fifth in that race. But he's going to need to find 6 or 7 lengths, another level to think that he can win here.
In your mind, is there a horse to beat? Or do you think in the Derby, there's never a horse to beat? Who do you think should be the favorite?
Well, Sierra Leone's definitely going to get the distance, but is he going to get the pace set up? And I do think that there are going to be horses that are going to be concerned about setting it up for him. It seems to me Fierceness might be a little one-dimensional, but, I don't know that horse that well, but he had everything his own way in his last race. But I think it's going to take a horse that's a combination, that's got some tactical speed and can finish, and whether Mystik Dan can do that or Common Defense can do that. I mean, as we've seen, so much can happen. Pace gets rapid, and then it collapses in front, and somebody comes flying late. Or we've seen War Emblem go wire to wire when everybody thought there was going to be a ton of speed. I gave up trying to predict it years ago.